Yeah, Dr. Sagai was talking, and read his testimony, and also you brought up something that just made me think of something very specific that's been on my mind, which is you were talking about the environment of the school, about the socialization of the kids, and so I have a very specific thing that I'm going to be actually introducing a bill about, which is LGBT youth being bullied. And right now we have laws that prohibit bullying for pretty much everything on the basis of race and religion and other things, but not on gender identity and on gay and lesbian kids. And the evidence is that the gay kids are bullied a lot, and that they don't, their achievement goes down. There's a lot of absenteeism, and there's even suicide. So I just maybe like you to speak to not just that specific issue, but the issue of how you create an environment that kids learn in, where they're working together, and what is the best way to create a positive behavioral environment?
Great question. First response is, our basic response in general to bullying has been a reactive management strategy. Zero tolerance, punish the kids, create environments of control. And much of the literature suggests that if that's your response, it's going to be ineffective in supporting those kids or any kids inside the school. So if you look again at the risk prevention literature and the violence literature, it's very clear about what's needed. One is you need to create a school-wide environment where kids are academically and socially competent, meaning they're taught social skills, the instruction is the most effective in producing good academic success. Kids who experience academic success and social success are better able to deal with teasing, with bullying, and so forth. They're also less likely to do it because they are getting their needs met in other ways. But going back to that literature, it's about targeted social skills instruction for all kids, and much more specific instruction for those kids who might have some risk factors, the bullies, if you will. Third feature is academic success. The fourth one is that adults have to model what we want the kids to be able to display. Our research indicates that it's really hard to teach kids not to bully when they're seeing bullying around them. And it's clearly a factor that contributes to it. So the adults have to actually change their interaction patterns with the kids for that to be successful. Underlying all of that is this administrative structure that actually endorses more prevention-based, proactive models. If the teachers are told to do something and there are no incentives or contingencies for staff members to contribute to a safe and caring environment, we're in trouble. Just to brag again about my wife, she's an elementary school of 500 kids. She greets every single kid at the door when they come into school, every single day. The effect of that is the kids enter the classroom ready to learn and also interacting with others as they meet them in the hallway. That's a big deal for us. Parents see her greeting the kids. The parents perceive the school as a more welcoming place, and guess what happens to parent involvement as a result of that? The specific example is intended to indicate that the larger school-wide climate for all kids is really important.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Senator Dodd just had to leave.
Can I just say something? I think we should call Senator Bennett as a witness one of these crimes.
I'm sorry, Ms. Struck, you had something.
I would like to respond to Senator Franken's comments and questions as well, that when we talk about the whole child, we're talking about school-wide initiatives, like school-wide character education programs that are integrated into the curriculum, but also immersed into the school climate and culture. It's not just signs on the wall. It's not just these fun, creative lessons we do in the classrooms. One of the most important factors is what adults model. And then, so adults modeling acceptance, awareness, teaching about diversity, and that can be taught. Those character education, ideas can be taught across the curriculum. Also, we need to look at policy. You know, in Iowa, we did pass a bullying and harassment law, and in that bullying and harassment law, there is protection for kids on sexual orientation or perceived sexual orientation. But we as the adults have to be the models, and we have to be comfortable to acknowledge realistically that that does happen in our schools. And you're right on, Senator Franken, that is one of the harshest, worst kinds of bullying and harassment that happens schools all around the country.
I just want to add one final thing, which is kids spend 70% of their waking hours outside school, and most of that time is under the care and direction of their families. So when schools are initiating anti-bullying and other kinds of positive social behavior programs, parents need to be there and understand what it is so they can use those strategies at home and in the community with their kids, because that will start to change the tenor of the whole context.